you know, the stream delay. I'll check out if we're live.
I'm gonna wait for a couple of people to join, and then I'll get the intro.
We are officially live. Wait for the race comms thing to ping everyone.
Yep. Okay, I've got the thingy. I'm gonna give it 20 seconds.
Okay, wait.
So when it hits 16:30 on the timer, I'll start my intro then.
That should be good. That should be good. Let me just test the mic. That should be good.
I hear breathing.
Still not sending the race comms thing. I think we might as well start. It's live on the SBS YouTube, so it is what it is.
Alright, I'll start my intro then. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, for the second round of Division 1 here in Side by Side Racing League. We are here in Portimao, waiting for the lights to go out in the race in a couple minutes time. We have drivers from all over the globe wanting to show off their name and make it into SBS history here today. But with only one round complete so far, the question remains, can Mr. BT keep his lead in the standings? Well, we're going to have to wait and see, because we've got a whole race ahead of us, and this is just quali. So, yeah, please enjoy us, and try not to, yeah.
Try not to, yeah. Try not to, yeah. Alright. So I have to do the thing manually because it does not want to send it in race comms. So we're going old school, and there we go.
Oh, hello. A Pelic so far going through the third sector, set of 51.4, I believe. I honestly didn't see it entirely. He's going around the penultimate corner and then through onto the penultimate straight and then into the final right sweeper. That's going to bring them on to the main straight, and then they can get the DRS open and see what their time's going to be. And across the line goes the Pelic. It's 1:16.3 to start off. Now behind we have got other drivers. Here goes the Aston Martin, Sevetu Janssen, a 1:17.5.
Yeah, so a lot of people on laps. I think everyone on a lap already except for Smart. He's on an out lap. He's shortly going to start his hot lap. I'm not sure who to spectate, but for now I'm going to go on board with Mr. BT. He's
is on mediums and he's gone fourth. And I think everyone would be on mediums at this point.
And here goes Mr. BT.
Oh, Scotty's gone up to second on mediums.
Yeah, Scotty on the mediums. I think he might be going for the alternate strategy. We saw some of that yesterday in Division 2, so that could work for him. And then it's Pyro. I think some drivers, you know, just getting to know the track, getting the feel of the track before they go for their hot laps. So currently 10 drivers to complete their hot laps. A Pelic on provisional pole by 5/10, that is.
Yep. So at the moment, I think Francisco Rocha has gone 6th place in the Alpine. Decent lap by him on the soft tyre. I believe we have got the Mercedes coming across the line now. Jack across the line. It's provisional pole position by 0.3 of a second to bring him into first in this qualifying session so far on the first sprint of times. I think Jamboy at the back is also about to. No, he's not. I think he's going to.
Very nice lap from the Mercedes. Mercedes looking strong so far, and we could definitely get into the 1:15s here in Portimao. We can see J-Cax finishes lap. Not sure who's on a hot lap. Who can we find who is on a hot lap? Sevetu Janssen in sector 2. What can he do? I'm not sure. I think he backed out.
Mr. BT is being held up here by Smart, but Smart. Oh, it's Pyro's jumped up to second place on the mediums. Jack set his lap on softs, which means Pyro looks really good entering the race so far. Also, while Bobby was talking, Smart went up to 4th place, and Liam up to 6th. So decent laps by them. Liam was on the mediums, and Smart was on the soft. So Liam also looking like a good contender for the win here today.
Yeah, Liam is in P6. He's being held up by Mr. Beatty. I'm not sure what's happening there. I'm not sure if Liam's on a hot lap or not. No, he's on both on out laps. I think maybe Liam is on an in lap, which is why Mr. Beatty won't let him through. Mr. Beatty prepares for his hot lap. He messed up his first one, I'm pretty sure. He lost the rear end. I'm gonna go on board with him. The provisional, he's the one to look at. He took P1 in Bahrain by quite a big gap. Let's see what he can do into the first corner. You need to really take all of that curb, and he's on the limit through there. We can see we're actually going to go on board with him. What's he going to do in sector 1? Can he go purple in sector 1?
We're going to have to see as he goes onto the second DRS straight, and down the straight he goes. It's not purple in the first sector.
And I think JCAC still holds provisional pole here. Can Mr. BT deny him though? He's into sector 2 now. You see not a lot of drivers on the track right now, but of course Track Evolution will play a crucial role in this qualifying session with 10 minutes left to go. The track hasn't quite reached its peak. As we can see, Mr. BT, he's into sector 2. It is purple in the second sector. Can he go on pole here, or will he be denied by his teammate? Will it be a Mercedes 1-2? It's looking very likely as Mr. BT. What's he going to do here? He's going to round the final few corners. You need to be tight here, full throttle, keep it tight. That will gain you a few hundredths, which is the difference between P1 and P2. And he's gone P2. Just ahead of Pyro.
It's a Mercedes 1-2.
It is a Mercedes 1-2. And I think Kalman will be happy with that.
Yeah, Pyro, again, he sees the Mercedes as... wait, what's happened? Pyro's coming out of the pit. He's switched on to soft. I believe he's coming out of the pit soon. So, Pyro is going to be the one to watch here.
Yeah, and another one to watch is... Oh, yeah, okay. No, don't mean to interrupt you, but another one to watch is Scotty. He's out on the softs now. He went P2 last time, but now he's been relegated to P6, and he's decided to go on the softs and see what he can do. As you can see, SBSN, you see Leighton passes him. Leighton, Season 1 champion, what can he do? He's a second up, and he's in a validated. Not looking great for Leighton. What can Birkan Faha do? He had a pretty... he didn't have a great weekend in Bahrain. I think he's going to start his hot lap now.
Pelik is also on the lap.
Yeah, a lot of people
around here onto the second DRS straight, and he's improving by 5 pounds of a second. So not much, but there is still more to come, hopefully, in the second and third sectors as he goes through this corner, this set of corners now, this rough hairpin, as you could call it, technically. It's not really a hairpin. But then through this right-left twisty part of the track, you have to go really tight on this corner. Because if you go tight on this corner, you can gain a lot of time. And he's now 2 tenths up,
and that would be
put him into P2.
Enough for P2. Yeah, and he's going to go into sector 3 now. These last tricky few corners are sweeping right-hander here. You need to, stay tight, get on the throttle early, and you need to be perfectly on the limit. And then through here, once again, at full throttle, and you need to stay tight to gain you that extra lap time. He stays tight very nicely. What's it going to be for Mr. Pelik? It's going to be pole position. It's going to be pole position. Just
look at the gap.
Just outside of the 115s. And I'm going to go back on board now with this McLaren of EVG Scotty. What can he do? Can he deny a Pelik pole on his debut? EVG Scotty was signed by McLaren just today. What can he do? He's taking this corner very nicely, very, very nicely. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes purple, and he has gone purple. And I think this is provisional pole for EVG Scotty. He just needs to keep it, needs to keep the car settled, needs to keep the car calm through this last sector. You can see the tyres overheat a bit, but now it is smooth sailing as he rounds the final corner. I think that is going to be into the 115s. No, just about.
Ooh.
It's a 1:16.0009, and that is a very, very good lap from him. You can see all the lap times improving now, and Mr. BT currently P1 in the standings. He's down to P4. The Ferrari Joe right behind, and then Leighton, he's in P7 currently. Looking like a very competitive grid at the moment. You can see the top few separated by a few hundredths of a second, few thousandths even of a second.
Soon we're going to get people into the 115s, and hopefully, I think Pyro's improving on his time.
Yeah, Pyro's improving. Nice pole position.
It's provisional pole. It's in the 115s, lads.
That was an amazing lap.
We
didn't get to see him. We didn't see him. We didn't see him. He was just sneakily improving and improving. He's got pole position into the 115s. A very nice lap from him. And
I was literally just scrolling through the names, and then I see Pyro. He's 4 temps up, and I'm like, oh. He's fast. Then he comes across the line, gets provisional pole. What a lap by him.
Yeah, indeed. Let's see what 702 Janssen can do. He's been putting in the hours on his Twitch channel. Go support him. His Twitch is Formula 1 Zone 44. Let's see what he can do. Has he been practicing for this race? We're going to have to wait and see. 6/10 up on his time. So that is not an improvement. VF, okay. This is going to be a good lap from him. It's going to be a great lap. It's going to be pole position for VFR JCAC. And we are now smoothly into the 115s.
Whew. We've met it. 115 paradise. Jack has just set a lap of legends, a 115.7. Absolutely unheard of. But you can't take that away from him. He is a really fast driver, and he deserves that pole as much as anyone else. Currently, there are some people on outlaps. Smart B5 still hasn't gone out on his time. I believe he might do. So he hasn't gone out ever since his lap on the medians. Maybe he'll come out soon, because I reckon he's going to be one who's going to get onto the front row, or maybe even pole. You just can't really tell at this point in time, since everyone was on different tyre compounds. You're just going to have to see and wait. With 4.5 minutes remaining, this is going to be an end of quali shootout.
Indeed it is. A lot of drivers going into the boxes. We can see nearly everyone in the top 8 into the boxes. JCAC is the only one out on truck, and now he's going to go into the pit lane. So we could see some of the positions shuffled up. You can see it's Pyro, EVG Scotty, Apelic. They only need to improve by a few hundredths of a second to move themselves up the leaderboard significantly. And one to watch, Mr. VT in the Mercedes. He got pole position in last season. Can he do it the same? He's got 4 minutes left. We're gonna have to wait and see.
Here we are then. So we have got approximately 4 minutes left. Pretty much, I think all of the top 8.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, but let's go on board with Liam Carragh. He's gone purple in Sector 2. Another man going purple. And what can he do? He just passes Tocorola, gets out of the way nicely. He could get a possible slipstream from XD Paco out in front. I don't think so. Don't think that will gain him any time. He's going to stay tight. This could be pole position for Saloy Liam Carragh. What is he going to do? The Alfa Romeo driver puts himself into P5. A few hundredths off Apelic's time.
Yeah, as I was saying, I think everyone in the top 8 still has a chance of getting that pole position. Maybe even the top 10 has a chance of getting pole position. You just can't really tell at this point. But I think most of them would have a chance as he goes off the track.
Yeah, indeed.
Liam had a bit of understeer.
Yeah, who should we go on board with? There's a lot of drivers on laps. Pelic maybe, but I think Pelic's done a good lap. Mr. VT though, what can he do? He's very confident around Portugal, I think. So he's on an out lap. Maybe he had a few moments in his other lap. What can he do? This is going to be interesting. This is going to be very interesting. These last few minutes of qualifying are going to be very significant. There's actually some traffic. Liam Carragh and Mr. BT nearly side by side with each other. And there goes Liam.
Pelic's got invalidated, so he's going to probably have only one more lap, or maybe 2 more laps, and try and get that pole position. He's slowing down so his tyre temps and tyre wear doesn't pop out.
So you go.
He's trying to keep the car steady with the tyres and everything, and now he should be ready for another lap. Hopefully, he's thinking in his head, I could get pole here. He just needs to keep things off.
You go on board with the Pelic. I'm gonna go on board with Mr. BT. What can he do? I'm very confident in him. I'm not sure why, but I think he's going to snatch pole in the last few seconds of this qualifying session.
Alright.
He's actually a 10th up.
Pelic is down the straight, currently on the main straight, and through turn 1. Mr. BT is going through, I think, turn 6, this might be? Oh, I know. Oh, Pelic's gone purple in the first sector. He's looking strong. He's around 85, around 800ths of a second faster.
Oh,
so
that will be enough to put him into the podium positions. But Mr. BT 3/10 up. This is going to be a hell of a lap. Jamboy. Oh, that was very dodgy. The Haas driver might have gone in the way of Mr. BT. He was swerving on the track. That could have interrupted Mr. BT's time. Hopefully not. What's it going to be for Mr. BT? As he crosses the start-finish straight, it's going to be 1:15.9, and that puts him into P3, just behind its Spyro and just in front of EVG Scotty. And Scotty is on he's on a hot lap, I mean. What can he do? Hopkinson gets out of the way nicely. And
Pelic into the final corner and across the straight. What will his time be? It's going to be enough for only a little improvement. He must have dropped some sort of time in the third sector, because he was up there like the flies at this point. He was flying. Literally.
Yeah, and I think Mr. BT's retired, so he's not going to improve on that P3.
EVG, actually, wait, no. Okay, yeah, Pelic has no chance of getting pole at this point. Others might.
JCAC.
EVG Scotty.
JCAC is at 300ths up on his time. It's Pyro. What can he do? He's purple. It's Pyro's purple. It's Pyro, the CPI Pyro, the one and only. He's gone purple in Sector 1. What can he do? The session has now ended. No more drivers allowed to start hot laps. What can Pyro do, and what can JCAC do? Can JCAC improve enough to keep Pyro behind, or will Pyro get past the Mercedes of JCAC? We'll have to wait and see. What can Pyro do into Sector 2?
JCAC into the third sector. He isn't improving on his time. He's dropped time in the second sector.
Oh, it's Pyro. It's Pyro. He's 1/10 up, nearly 2/10 up, and this is looking like a very, very possible pole lap from the Ferrari driver.
JCAC's out of spin, and he's into the wall.
And JCAC is out. And it's Pyro. Yeah, it has started.
The final minutes,
it is raining hard. And it's Pyro. What's he going to do? He crosses the line, and it's enough for pole position. What a lap from the Ferrari driver. Pole position in the last second. And that is a very, very, very nice lap from him.
He has stopped a Mercedes 1-2 from happening once again. Pyro with the pole position. When the rain starts to come down, he sees a glimmer, and that glimmer has came and shined off. Maybe this could be a hint with rain in the race. Maybe, just possible. But that should be everyone. Okay, yeah, Bobby, I'll leave it to you for the qualifying results.
Alrighty then. Whew. And here are the qualifying results. And it's Pyro on pole position. It's a 1:15.5 from him, a very, very nice lap. He took pole by 1/10, just behind JCAC and Mr. BT, the Mercedes duo. Then right behind, on his debut, is EVG Scotty in the McLaren. Behind we have AlphaTauri of Pelic, Liam Smart, a Division 2 driver, very good quality from him. Sebo 2 Janssen, Leighton, and rounding off the top 10 is Paha Pirka. And then just outside of the top 10 is Hades, XD Paco, Francisco Rocha, Jamboy, Hopkinson, Tom Idge, Tocorola, and Ahi, who actually retired at the start of the session. So we could see a nice comeback drive from the AlphaTauri driver.
Oof. That was some quality. It's another promising qualifying from Portugal here. In other divisions, we have seen some great qualifying sessions, and it's delivered once again. But we won't see qualifying in Portimao anymore until next season, so quite disappointing. But of course, we've got many more interesting races to come, and I reckon if you're watching here and you're not subscribed, then do. Just do it. This league's amazing, and if you're not subscribed, then you're missing out. Just get notified and when any races are coming out, because at this point, every race is great, every race is important.
Yeah,
it's all amazing.
We're waiting for the race to begin. Formation lap is going to get underway very soon. You can see in the garage of the two Mercedes drivers, the engineers, the pit crew waiting anxiously as they look on the television to see hopefully their drivers getting into the win of the race and sandwiching Pyro.
Oh my god. I love how you just mentioned the Mercedes engineers out of pretty much nowhere. They're just sitting down, they're watching the TV, they're watching the chase. See if Jonathan will he win £100,000 or euros, depending on where you live.
This looks like a very competitive top 10. Then the bottom 8 yet to prove themselves. They haven't proved themselves in the qualifying. Maybe they can do so in the race. 33 laps around Portugal. What better to do on a Saturday night?
Yep. Being here is very nice. I have had the luxury of being here for a bit, and it's just an enjoyable thing to see. The highest division of drivers in a very popular league racing around, showing themselves to the world that they are brilliant, and yeah, you can really get a hunch down. It's almost like a movie, like that one movie you rewatch every year, but it's not every year, you watch it every week.
Yeah.
Week.
Oh, pretty much every day, not gonna lie. Ferrari is on pole, tyres, Bobby tyres. Oh, sorry, I will do. Pretty much every day, not gonna lie. Ferrari is on pole, tyres, Bobby tyres. Oh, sorry, I will do. I do need to look on tyres, the engineers are asking. So, here are the tyres for all those engineers watching.
Oh,
you can see
the Mercedes make contact under the formation lap.
Yeah, and here's the tyres for the engineers, and we can also see the predicted pit stop strategy. It's a predicted 2-stopper, but we could see some 1-stops in the mix. I'm going to go off the detail of tyres. Engineers have seen them, and I'm going to go to the detail of the position changes, because we need to see who can make up the most positions into the start of the race. I think that is the last few drivers lining up. And we should be good to go. Please, Codemasters, give us a good angle to start the race. And Jack, you do the honours.
Oh, okay, thank you. Alright, as the last driver, the Haas at the back, and then finally Ahai loads into his place. 18 drivers on one grid here for the second race of Division 1. As we are waiting on the grid, and the lights are out as we hit 5 red lights ahead of the drivers, and it's lights out, and away we go. It's a better start from Jack, who takes the lead into turn 1. Mr. BT also got a great jump, but the McLaren's up the inside. EVG Scotty tries to go in.
Oh, EVG Scotty's round! Scotty is round. He's
Pyro.
been punted off by Pyro, and that is very unfortunate for him.
Liam's getting into a fight here with Apelic. Apelic really shoving him off the track. He's really fighting him hard, and this is great racing between them. It's 3 wide behind with Leighton Smart and Sebo T. Janssen. I think even CPI, Paha, whatever. And as they go into the next corner, and Leighton's having to back out there. Currently, the Mercedes have popped off the line amazingly. Pyro's jumped from 1st to 3rd. Sebo T. Janssen's gained 2 places, so has CPI Paha.
Great battles.
Paco's gained 2, Jamboy's gained 3, Taka has also gained 3, EVG Scotty in his debut race has pretty much got a podium wiped off his hands unless he somehow brings it back.
Indeed.
The only question is now, does he have damage? I don't think he does, so he's very lucky to escape without it.
Yeah.
That might be one for the stewards, but Pyro on the
Here
other
goes
hand
Mr. BT.
is gaining on Mr. BT.
Yeah,
Mr.
everyone's
BT 's
gaining on
Jack.
JCAC, and Mr. BT he looks to make the move, but he's just slots in behind JCAC for the meanwhile, and he's going to be looking to make the move. And Pyro is also getting incredibly close to Mercedes. You can see he's having a look at Mr. BT now as he's getting held up by his teammate, maybe, and into this corner he'll be looking to get the move done down the inside. Will he do it? Yes, he's going to go for a very late lunge down the inside of Mr. BT, and he makes the move. No, he doesn't. Mr. BT holds his line, and he's going to stay in front of the Ferrari of Pyro.
He tried a lunge, but he had to back out of that lunge. I don't think the Mercedes are going to switch positions, but if it's for championship terms and the Ferrari drops back, I think they might or might not switch positions.
I don't think they can afford to switch positions at this point with the Ferrari of Pyro putting the pressure on them. And further back in the distance, you see Liam, Karak, Apelik and Sebatu Janssen all battling for positions. And it's very close between all the drive. You can see Leighton, the train starting to form, a DRS train, and DRS will be activated this lap. So now we can see some even more intense battles as JCAC takes the fastest lap and Liam snatches it away from him. So Liam seems to be on the pace here in Portimao as he's catching up to the leading group.
Pyro very close, looking around the outside of Mr. BT, now trying to do a switch back here, and there's someone off there. I think that is Paco and CPI Paha, who has crashed into turn 1, and here comes Pyro down the inside for P2.
Down the inside of both of them! He's gone down the inside of both of them.
This would be the best move I've ever seen. He makes the move on Mr. BT, Jack keeps the lead, and now Ed's Pyro is stuck in a Mercedes sandwich, but the best overtakes I've ever seen. Maybe one for the season. What do you think of that?
I'm not sure. He went for the move on Mr. BT, then he got a bit too ambitious, going for both of them. A double overtake in one corner. Couldn't quite hold it, but I think no one's got damage, so it is fair play. And now it's Pyro, with the help of DRS, are going to be looking to get past the Mercedes of JCAC. And further back, Mr. BT trying to defend from the Alfa Romeo, but we do have someone who's left the session. They haven't retired though.
Hayes has made contact with Scotty. Jamboy was going very slow there. I think he weaved into Hayes, and then Scotty made contact with the Red Bull. I think he might have damage.
Yeah, and there goes Pyro down the inside of JCAC. A fairly easy move, but JCAC is going back at him, and he gets very close to the Ferrari of Pyros. They nearly make contact, literally pushing him through the third corner up this left-hander and uphill, and now back downhill. He's going to have the DRS on Pyro. He's going to go down the inside. No, he's not. He's going to hold back for the meanwhile. And further down, we have some more battles going on. We're going to have to wait and see what's happening further back. Yes, we can see some battles forming with EVG Scotty looking to make up positions. Jamboy nearly forces him off the track. There's a man on the mission, and it is EVG Scotty. He's only 6 positions down. Remember, on the first lap, he was down in P18. Now he's up to P10. Scotty is on a mission, and the next target for him is Hopkinson in the Alfa Romeo. Oh, someone spun! Sebatu Janssen.
Yep, Sebatu Janssen's off, and it looks like Scotty's got a penalty. He overtook one car while also corner cutting, so that's a 5-second penalty. Jamboy gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Yeah, an interesting race so far. Maybe a bit controversial. Sebatu Janssen also getting a penalty, but here comes Jack down the inside of Pyro. Will he get the lead back? Yes, he will. Down the inside into turn 1, but Pyro very ambitious here. Will he send one up the inside? He might do, Mr. BT, and he's actually hit he's actually hit Pyro, and that's going to give Liam a chance to go around the outside, but he doesn't, and Pyro's now going to get the DRS.
Pyro's looking to make the move on JCAC down the inside. Will he go for it? No, he's going to hold back for the meanwhile. Liam is on the back of Mr. BT, and meanwhile Paha Pirka has DNF'd, and will that be a safety car? Will that be a safety car? It's going to be a retirement in the pits, so that means no safety car for the meanwhile. How's EVG Scotty doing? He's pulled away from Tokorola. and now he's looking. He's looking to make the move on Leighton. He has to gain 2 seconds and got yellow flagged in sector 3. I think that is still from Pirka.
Yeah, and the top 3 or anything, the top 4 even now, and maybe even the top 5. There is a train beginning to form with the top 5 here as they're getting very close. Jack goes a little bit wider through that corner, not as much as he wanted to, and this is going to give Pyro the opportunity to get past. And look how close he is, even without the DRS. He's literally right on his tail, less than 2 temps, and now he's going to pull to the inside, and this is going to be a clean, easy overtake for Pyro to take back the lead. And I think it's just going to keep going this way. Oh wait, no, Jack has got a penalty.
Already a 3-second penalty, 6 laps into the race, and the two Hasses both out of the session. But Jamboy had retired on track, and it was a full course safety car. Jamboy is out with the 2 Hasses out of the session.
No surprise. What? Wait, how is Jamboy racing anyway? Isn't he reserve?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh well. Safety car is now deployed. Interesting turn of events. Now we're gonna see if anyone tries the opportunity of having a cheeky pit stop. Hoppington in the background sees this opportunity, boxes onto the medium tyre, but he's already down in P14. So he's hoping to gain positions after the safety car is gone. Francisco Richards in AI mode, so that's pretty much his race.
Yeah, and we can see that not many people boxing. We can see Sebatu Janssen on fresh set of soft though, so the top 10 have not boxed. Only Hopkinson, Sebatu Janssen and Francisco Rocha have boxed for the meanwhile.
I mean, Pyro might have a go into
Pyro
the pits.
is going into the boxes, so is Mr. BT and JCAC.
Mr. BT, wheel to wheel into the pits. Liam overtakes. He speeds in the pits though. This is giving me Vettel vibes in China.
Liam's just overtaken in the pit lane, but he could not slow down in time, and that is very unfortunate for the Alfa Romeo driver, and he's actually not going to serve his penalty.
Had to double stack. Mr. BT had to double stack, so this is going to mean he's going to lose a couple places. He's still going to get ahead of Smart though, but he's now behind a Pellic, which is not very good, and Liam's ahead of a Pellic. So currently, if you're looking at pit stop wise, Pyro would be in the lead ahead of Jack-Hack, Liam, Pellic and Mr. BT. But non-pit stop wise, under the safety car, disqualification!
He's been disqualified!
In the lead, he's been disqualified for ignoring yellow flags. What's happened there? Was it a mistake from Codemasters? Or was he actually, he's reversing? He's trying to reverse. Out of this situation, I don't know what's happened here. If it was accidental or what? If it's.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure, Codemasters. Well, we're just gonna have to keep going. The games must go on, as we have 15 drivers left after lap 7 of this race, and currently in provisional P1 we have It's Pyro. Jack, I'm not sure where he's gone, and got Pyro in P3 in provisional pole though, as Ahi and Tom Idge have not boxed just yet. They're on the mediums though, they do not need to box just yet. Their pit window will be in around lap 12, lap 13, lap 14, around that time I think, or even later if they choose to extend their tyres, really get the maximum life out of them. So now we're just gonna have to wait. XD Paco is actually sandwiched between the top runners as he chose not to box either, and Liam and Jacob both have penalties. Jacob has a 3-second time penalty and Liam has a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And it's looking very bunched up, everyone weaving on the track, ready to go in this safety car period. You can see Scotty, the man on a mission. He's in P11 and he's going to look to make up positions in the opening stages of the race. We can see we're very fresh into the race. We're just at the start, already safety car, 8 laps into the race, and we've still got many more to go. Now this is going to be a very how do I call it? Very entertaining start with all of these very talented drivers right next to each other, and who can get the better start of the safety car? Will the McLaren driver of, who is that? Tom Itch. Will he perform a slow restart or a fast one? Will he try get away from Ahi? They're both trying to extend their tyres, and it's Pyro. He's on the fresh tyres. He's the first man who's on, he's the first provisional P1 for him, so he'll be looking to get away from JCAC. JCAC does have a penalty though, so that will not help him whatsoever. And now we're just waiting and waiting. Not much else to say. Unfortunate for the two Hasses, as they both were DNF'd and Tocorola disqualified. Not sure if that was a glitch from the game. And now we can see the safety car is in this lap. We're going to go on board with the McLaren driver of Tom Idge. And he's already going slowly. And I think that is better for the mic. Is he going to perform a fast restart? And I think that is better for the mic. Is he going to perform a fast restart, or is it going to be a slow one? It seems like a slow one. When's he going to go on the throttle? When's he going to accelerate? You can see Ahi already getting excited there. And there we go. There goes Tom Idge, and we are back underway. You can see JCAC already on the back of Pyro, and just behind him is XD Paco. What can JCAC do? Nothing, it seems. Oh, down the inside goes XD Paco. He makes the move, but JCAC tries to stay ahead around the outside, and is that XD Paco who's just completely sent it? And Tom Itch is out. He's been sent by Paco, I think that is. I'm not sure what happened there. That's very unfortunate for them too. Liam gets a 3-second time penalty for cutting corners. You can see everyone going side by side back there. Pelic in the middle of this little sandwich, and Mr. BT making up the positions very quickly, as his next target is Smart B5 in the Ferrari. What can Mr. BT do? He's going to hold back for here. He doesn't want to get wing damage. Everyone is so close, and he just does not want to sustain any sort of wing damage, as that would ruin his race. And where's Scotty? He's looking to make a move on a Pelic, but he can't make it stick just yet. And Mr. BT, you can see he's clearly faster than Smart, but he just can't seem to get past just yet. And Ahi still holds P3. I think he's holding a few people up here on the 8-lap old medium compounded tyre, and Liam can't seem to find a way past. And Smart is this is helping him, as Liam has finally found the way past down the inside of Ahi. And now everyone is going to try to get past Ahi. He's on the old mediums, everyone else on the fresh mediums. Smart, he's actually flashing. He's got under 15% ERS, I think. He's got very low ERS. Mr. BT, he looks to the right, but he's not going to go for the move. He looks to go for the move down the inside, but he won't just yet. You can see Smart goes for the move on Ahi, and he goes very close. They're going side by side up here, but Smart breaks, and Mr. BT spins. Mr. BT is spun it as Smart is broken through the corner. He hard on the brakes. Not sure what happened there, and that will be investigated, as that is Mr. BT currently down into the bottom places. That's very unfortunate for him. I'm going to rewatch what happened there. Yeah, I'm not sure what Smart was doing there. Very questionable. And JCAC right now, the gap between him and Pyro is 1 second, and Liam, you can see the front three separated by quite a lot. Smart on the tail of Ahi as they go side by side into this left-hander, and Smart is past Ahi, and now the two teammates, they're together, and Apelic is fast. Scotty also is fast. He's another, once again, the man on the mission, I say, is Scotty in the McLaren. He started just outside the podium positions, and now he's looking to get back into that position, as he is now going to not have the DRS just yet on Apelic, and Apelic gets very close to Smart, but he backs out at the last moment, and that's very unfortunate. As we keep going with Scotty and Apelic. Scotty is getting very close now to Apelic in the AlphaTauri. Achi's holding back Leighton. He's going to be the next man on the fresh mediums. Will he go for a move on Achi? Not yet. He's going to sit back, but this will be costing Leighton precious lap time. And he's going to go past now down the inside. He's going. Oh, Achi squeezes him very very he squeezes him a lot, and he just leaves him enough space. And Scotty is past Smart B5, and now he's hunting down a Pelic. Leighton also hunting down drivers, and you can see Aki is just losing so many positions already down into P9, and I think he's just going to keep these tyres for the longest amount possible. And a lot of these drivers are losing time because they're just being held up by the other drivers who are on old tyres. And VFI JCAC is going to have the DRS. He's closing the gap to Pyro, and the gap is now 0.6 of a second. It was 0.7 at the start of the straight, and at the end of the straight it's 5. So we can see he just gained 0.2 on the straight alone. And what can he do through these corners? We'll revisit this battle soon. And Scotty is getting close to a Pelic. The two drivers know each other from Battlegrounds. BG3, shout out to Drinkhouse, mate. An epic tournament. And Smart also, he's actually he's keeping with Scotty. Leighton also, train starting to form, and Aki is just behind. He's out of the DRS range, and Pyro has actually been overtaken by JCAC. I did not get to see that, unfortunately, but JCAC is fast, so he seems to have the pace advantage. And what's Mr. BT up to in P12? He's looking to make a comeback drive. He's got time. He has got time. Has the Mercedes driver. His teammate got unfortunate in Bahrain, and now he's getting unfortunate in Portimao. It was not his fault. It will be investigated, but for now I could not say anything. And you know, Smart is holding the gap to Scotty. He's gonna have DRS. What can he do? Scotty's also gonna have DRS, but maybe not as much. And Smart is very close to Scotty at this stage, and Pyro's back past JCAC. We're going to go on board with this battle. JCAC gets so close to Pyro, literally pushing him through that corner, and it's a very close battle here. Server2 Jansen picks up a 3-second time penalty, so does Ahi, and JCAC will have the DRS enabled. Is he going to go for the lunge down the inside? No, he's not. He's going to hold back. You can see he was looking to see if he can make that switch back, but apparently not, and he has to slot into P2 for the meanwhile. Liam, he's one of the only drivers right now in no man's land. And XD Paco, I think he's had a spin. We've got another spinner, and unfortunate for him. And meanwhile, Pyro trying to pull away. He's trying to get out of the DRS, using all of his ERS, but he can't seem to do so. So JCAC, at this rate, he will have the DRS on Pyro, and this battle will keep going. It'll keep going, as they are going to round the final corner, and then they're going to enter the DRS activation zone. The gap at the start of the straight, we must remember this, was 0.5. What is it going to be entering the first corner? The DRS is now activated. You can see it's closing in rapidly on Pyro. A very big pace advantage from JCAC. He's going into this corner with a huge amount of speed, and he's using it very well. He's very close to Pyro. Will he go for the lunge down the inside? No, he's going to hold back for the meanwhile. JCAC does have the 3-second penalty though, as we can see further down the grid. Mr. BT on the comeback drive. Scotty also, and VFR JCAC. Will he go for the move on Pyro? Will he slot back? He seems to stay back for the meanwhile. Pelic getting pushed by Scotty and Smart. A three-way train for these drivers, and further back Leighton is catching up. Leighton with no penalties, and these few drivers have no penalties, so that will help them very much. And it seems that Pyro, the gap in the last lap is the same as in this lap. It is 0.5 exactly. Scotty getting close to a Pelic, and we can see Jack is back in the party. Hello, Jack. And we're just a lot of battles going on. Not sure who to spectate. See Pyro and JCAC still going at it. JCAC now will have the DRS. The roles are reversed, I think, and JCAC has the DRS. The gap is 0.5. What can he do? He's closing in on Pyro once again. The gap is 0.3, it's 0.2. It is nearly 0.1, as he's very fast through that corner. see, but he doesn't get quite close enough. He can't make the move just yet. Mr. BT further back, making moves. What's he doing? Is he stuck in a train? He's gotten past Hopkinson, and now he's going to try get past Hayes.
Hello, I'm back.
Yeah, hi mate.
I died.
Are you in the lobby?
I'm joining back now.
Alrighty.
Should be at least.
So Scotty is still holding the gap, and you can see Mr. BT. He's making the moves, and he has time. He certainly has time. We're not even halfway through into the race. He's in P9, so this is certainly not a disaster for him. Jack the Cool Fella back in the session. That is very cool indeed. And JCAC, the gap is still 5/10. It seems like a never-ending battle, but one mistake from Pyro could cost him the position of P1. The gap is actually closed down now. Oh no, never mind. And Scotty, what's that? Is that Scotty spinning? It is indeed. Scotty has had a spin. I'm not sure what happened there. And he's got a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. Not sure why that happened. And now Jacob is going back at Pyro, and I'm going to let Jack commentate.
Well, I'm not really wanting to commentate at the moment, but can you give me like maybe 10 seconds of what's happened so far?
I will. So basically, many battles. Mr. BT has had a spin, and so has Scotty. And in front, JCAC and Pyro are battling it out very hard. Meanwhile, Leighton is in. Leighton's trying to hold back Sabatou Janssen, who goes for the switchback, but he can't make it stick. And yeah, Liam and the Pelic in no man's land currently. They're just trying to extend the stint on the mediums as they all box for the softs. Sooner or later.
Wait a minute, what happened to Paco?
And Paco had a spin, and you can see, as we saw in Division 2, you cannot go for the one-stop. Everyone's pitted, so the one-stop will be practically impossible. You will get a puncture, as we saw with Embrick Boss yesterday.
Don't even mention it, please.
And yeah, it seems that Pyro is pulling away from JCAC. He's had a very good lap, and the gap is 7/10. It was 5/10 last lap, but he's going to close the gap in that straight, obviously. And BT is in no man's land, so is Hayes. And Scotty, he's been spun twice, and he's back for more in this race.
Oh, here comes Sabatou Janssen on Leighton. They're going wheel to wheel into the first corner. They make contact. Sabatou Janssen just avoids a spin there, but smart. Gets the opportunity to go into P6, and now he might even have a go at Leighton entering the next DRS straight. He's got the rear fling, wing open. Is he gonna look one around the outside?
The switchback.
He tried. Now
The switchback. Oh no, he cannot pull off the switchback. Maybe he can do the switchback into this corner, the uphill right-hander. He seems to have the pace advantage on Leighton, very close, you can see, to Leighton. And meanwhile, up ahead, JCAC, he's reducing the gap to Pyro very nicely, and Liam is chilling, so is the Pelic, and Leighton is just trying to hold back the prancing horse of Smart B5, number 24. Further back we can see Mr. BT still on a mission, and he's catching up to this group right here. He's catching up to the P5 contention group, and this is going to be some more action for the Mercedes driver. He's getting a lot of making a lot of moves and a lot of overtakes in this race is Mr. BT. He's not going to make a move on this straight, but someone who will is Smart B5 as he makes the move on SPSN USC Leighton, and Sabatou Janssen still holds that P7. Up ahead, JCAC is actually reducing the gap by quite a margin now. The gap is now down to 4/10, and at this rate, he may well get past on the straight.
Yeah, you're gonna just have to wait and see. He's been building up for a couple laps now. I was gonna say he has been being closer than he ever has onto the main straight, and then onto the next corner. I think it was like 3 tenths the gap. But I think he must have made some sort of mistake, because when we got onto the second DRS straight, the gap was, I believe, 5 tenths.
Yeah, and so Leighton is closing in on Smart. What's going to happen here? Mr. BT closing in on Sabatou Janssen. He's going to hold back At least that's what he should do. He's going to hold back and he's going to make the move on the straight in sector 3. That'll be the smartest option for him to avoid spinning once again. He's getting very close to Sebatu Janssen. You can see this group here split now as Sebatu Janssen is 6/10 behind. He's on... Oh, Mr. BT follows. Mr. BT went for the slipstream and then he saw that Sebatu Janssen was pitting and he was like, oh, my bad, my bad.
Oh, look at Jackak. He was so close. I think at this corner, the corner beforehand, he keeps losing time because the gap was like 2 tenths. And now, he tried looking down the inside. He knew better of it and he backed out. Mr. BT, on the other hand, going wheel to wheel with Smart. These two, very professional drivers. Will Mr. BT look down the inside? He certainly will.
And he goes down the inside. He leaves him the room very nicely. Mr. BT back into P6, back into contention for this race. Back into the competitive positions and back into the points. Very nice from him. And now SBS and NFC Leighton has a grand job on his hands. He needs to hold back BT, who is on he's on a very good race. He's doing very fast laps, and yeah, let's see if Leighton can handle it, but I don't think so. He's not going to have the DRS. Mr. BT will, so this could well be Mr. BT getting past Leighton. As you can see, Leighton loses the rear of it through that corner, and I think Mr. BT will be passed nice and easily. Up ahead, still no overtakes. Jakak is slotting in behind Pyro for the meanwhile, so as we're on to lap 20, and Mr. BT goes down the inside of Leighton. Leighton, he's left a tiny bit of room. Mr. BT just manages to make the move on Leighton, as Leighton is... Leighton was not willing to give up the position easily, and he's going to be back for more now. He's got a 3-second time penalty, unfortunate for him. Is he going to go down the inside of Mr. BT? No, he's not. Mr. BT's actually flashing. He's low on the ERS, and Leighton has more ERS, it seems, than Mr. BT. By only a bit, yeah. So Scotty's getting close to the back of the Red Bull. He's getting very close to Hayes. So this could well be Scotty making the move on Hayes.
Yeah, the top two, Pyro looks to be comfortably staying ahead, but now the gap I seem like Pyro is slower in the first sector, then very good in the second sector, then okay in the third sector. I think Jakak, where he can improve, is in the third and first sector. Oh yeah, Jakak. He has the DRS.
Yeah, and Jakak just needs to keep this gap, and then he will be able to look at making the move on the Ferrari. And Scotty is getting incredibly close to Hayes. He finally decides to make a move. He decides to take action, and he is through now. Mr. BT, he needs to close down the gap to him and Apelik. The gap is 4 seconds. That's a big gap between them two, and we're now seeing the second stint of tyres. You can see Sebatu Janssen has already boxed for the mediums. He's on a new set, and everyone right now is on very old mediums. You can see Ahi has not boxed yet, so he's actually gone for the one stop, and we're going to start seeing the drivers boxing for the soft compounder tyre.
Yeah, hopefully, maybe soon, we're going to have a look at Hayes. Hayes going for the one-stop strategy, or maybe he's looking to get more tyre wear at the end. But when people start to box, then it's going to become a little bit harder for him. 17 Janssen boxed last lap. He's on 1 lap all mediums. He's currently, looking to me, the fastest man on track. Well, currently, if you're taking this off tyre life. It's Pyro also keeping, again, a distant gap with Jakak. It might not seem like a lot, but 6 tenths is a lot if you think about it.
Indeed, and we can see Liam Carrog, he's got a lot of penalties. He's got 14 seconds worth of penalties, the poor Alfa Romeo driver.
Oh, this reminds me, 14 seconds, eh?
14 seconds! Slapstream, and...
Slapstream's crying in the background, I can just see him.
He's proud, and 11 laps to go, and we're going to start seeing the medium compounded tyre drivers. They're going to start boxing. So there's the penalties for those engineers interested, and we're going to go back to the tyre graphic. You can see Ahi on 21 lap old mediums. He needs to make sure to box soon, because when you extend those mediums to that many laps, you know what happens. You will get a puncture. And Jakak is closing down. No, he's not. The gap is still 6 tenths. And Liam Carragh is just in no man's land, watching the battle ahead of him play out. And he's looking to pounce on any mistakes from the two drivers. But he does have 14 seconds worth of penalties, which is not ideal for him. Pelik is... not many battles going on for now. XD Paco, though, is getting close to Tom Edge. He hasn't had a lot of screen time today, so we'll make sure to give him his fair share. In the Williams, got very unlucky. And he's going to try and go for the moves on the McLaren of Tom Edge.
Alright, so these two are quite close. They collided on the safety car restart last lap, which wasn't ideal for both of them. But it's just racing, and when it happens, it's not helpful, obviously, and it's not good to see two people collide. But obviously, it happens, and you just have to get over it. It happened with me. Sometimes you just make a collision with someone else. You just have to go through it all.
Yeah.
It can be tough.
And this whole race has been Smart and Leighton battling it out for the P6, and Smart seems to have the pace advantage. I'm not sure, but from what I'm seeing, he does. And Smart, very crucial. He has no penalties, so does Mr. BT, so that's very good from him. His teammate, though, does. And his teammates looking to close the gap once again. On the Ferrari, got yellow flags in sector 1. Who's that? It's the McLaren it's the McLaren, I think, who's had a spin in that corner, and they are about to get lapped by Pyro and Jakak as they are. Oh, Smart gets past Leighton. Smart's been behind Leighton for a long time now, and we've got yellow flags into sector 1. Is it Mr. BT once again? It's Mr. BT off the road once again, and 3-second time penalty for him. I'm not sure what happened there. I'm very unfortunate for him.
Oh, yeah, sorry for being dead. I forgot my mic is muted. Two people in the pits on fresh softs. Hopkinson and Ahai. Now coming out the pit is Hopkinson is going to come out in P11. Ahai is going to come out in P12, as Tomic is literally going through the penultimate corner. So he's going to come out quite comfortably. As Hopkinson laps Francisco Rocha for the second time, goes a little bit wide. But up at the front, the gap is 4 tenths. This is closer than it ever has been for Jack to make the move onto the main straight with the DRS. Will he get the overtake done? Liam boxes.
Jakak down the inside, and it's finally the moment he's been waiting for. They're both flashing, and Jakak is finally into the lead of the race. You can see the first man into the boxes is Liam, and he's boxing for those softs. And I think these drivers looking to extend until the end of the race.
Pyro, late braking, tried making a move. Now he's going to try some sort of switchback. He's too far behind though, and I think it's time for both of them to have their final pit stops onto the softs, where they can show off all of their speed on with only 8 or 7 laps remaining. Liam has pit from 3rd place. This should be crucial for him. He's trying to do the undercut on the people ahead, which if he does do it successfully, then he could still be in a chance of getting the win here.
And it's Pyro closing the gap to Jakak. The gap is 4 tenths, and you know what is going to happen. Pyro is going to send it on Jakak down the inside, and it will be close though. The gap is 3 tenths now, so no doubt about it. He's going to be making the move on the main straight. The Mercedes is flashing, so is the Ferrari, and there goes the Ferrari side by side and into P1. Very nice move from him, and Scotty right behind Leighton Everyone on all tyres. You can see Leighton fakes Scotty a tiny bit, and Scotty is into the slipstream. He's got the toe of Leighton. Will he go for the move? No, he's going to slot back into P6 right now and wait for the next opportunity to strike. And further back, Mr. BT, not a great race from him. He's had a few incidents, and I don't think any of those were his fault, so very unfortunate for him. As he's going to keep pushing though, he's going to minimize the damage. He's going to have a damage limitation, as we call it, as he tries to get points. And Scotty makes the move on Leighton. Finally, here the McLaren is into P5. And then is a very nice move from him, as Smart B5 is in no man's land. So is Apelic. Apelic is literally in the middle of nowhere. It's a 10-second gap between him and JCAC, and it's a 5-second gap between him and Smart. He is just chilling there in P3, and he knows that if JCAC or Pyro, if they collide, then he will be in P1 of this race. And don't forget that penalties will play a crucial role in this race, like they do in any other one. As we're going to load up penalties right now. JCAC has 3 seconds, Scotty has 5, Leighton has 3, Hayes has 3, Mr. BT has 3, Liam has 9, Seb has 6, Hopkinson has 3, and Aki has 3. Lexi Paco also has 10.
Pyro and Jack-Hack stay out for another couple of laps. Please, just don't stay out that long, guys, you don't know what's gonna happen.
And Liam,
guys, don't do it.
Liam is the fastest man on track, as he set a 1:17.0, and further back, Mr. BT catching back up to Hayes. There are a lot of people extending the tyres. We could see some possible punctures, as they are entering puncture territory in the final 5 laps of this race. I meant 6.
Ooh, here we go then.
My math is bad. And Leighton.
Nice.
Leighton, the gap between Leighton and Scotty is 1.4 seconds, so Leighton is out of the DRS, and that is not great for him. That's certainly not what he wants, as JCAC and Pyro still battling. This is a race-long battle for P1, as JCAC looks to strike. He looks to make the move now. Will he make the move though? The gap is 5 tenths, it's 4 tenths, it's 3 tenths as they go into the first corner, but JCAC slots into P2 once again. And you can see a nice angle on Smart, another man in the middle of nowhere. But Scotty, further back, is looking to pounce on Smart. Smart seems to be going very much slower. And Leighton and Hayes battling. Hayes actually in front of Leighton now. Wait, no, is that Mr. BT?
What?
Oh, Mr. BT's out.
No, Mr. BT's off, and he's out the race. Oh no, oh no, that means Liam's pretty much in the worst possible position, because now the medium tyre runners and Hayes are able to box, which is not good. This is not what Liam wanted, because now he's going to lose a bunch of time, and that's pretty much has got his race ruined. And that's not even including the penalties, which he had 14 seconds. Very original.
And it is a full course safety car.
The championship leader out. And remember when I said in that intro, could he retain the championship lead? At the moment, it doesn't look that possible. Ooh, this is terrible.
And it is a safety car. This is going to be an intense few laps of racing. We saw this in which other track have we seen this in? I'm not sure, but it's going to be a final few laps, a shootout for P1. Anyone can take it at this go. Anyone can take it at this point.
Liam boxes as well, so he pits again. Was that a good decision? I think he should have stayed out.
Now this is getting, I'm going to be immature. This is getting creamy, as Pyro is on the 0 lap. Wait, what's Hayes doing? He's on the 21 lap hold hards, and interesting tactics from him.
Very,
Everyone else,
very good tactics. You should have boxed, my friend.
he's doing the Embrick tactic. He's paying his respects, and now those with penalties are going to be regretting their choices of extending the track limits, as now they'll be very harshly penalised, especially Jakak. He's done a magnificent job this whole race, but this 3 seconds of penalties will affect him majorly. So we're gonna get, I think, 2 or 3 laps of racing. It's going to be Abu Dhabi repeat, and what is going to happen? It's going to be an absolute crazy restart, I predict.
Baku 2.0 here. We got a 2-lap-old sprint race, probably towards the end of this Grand Prix, maybe even 3 laps. But of course, this is pretty much a showdown all the way to the end. Even though Pyro is ahead currently and Jakak has 3 seconds, that still won't stop Jakak from trying to get into the lead. Hades, on the other hand, is on 21-lap-old hard tyres and has 6 seconds of penalties. High chance he might or might not regret not pitting. But of course, it's good. So right now, the only people without penalties are Pyro, Apelic, Smart, EVG Scotty, who has made a great comeback, by the way, Tomich, who is a lap down, and that's pretty much it. Everyone else has penalties, besides those 5 drivers. Yeah, 5 drivers. See, I know my math. But Pyro has drove a great race so far, and if he finishes this race in P1, who isn't surprised? I know probably my uncle isn't. Like who is this? It's Pyro guy, but he has drove a fantastic race, and to be in P1, he's probably gone to the fairies down in his back garden. Please give me a win in SBS Div 1, and I'm like, okay, sure. He's asked upon the gods, and I think it wasn't even the gods, it was just him, raw pace. He's a fast driver, faster than anyone on the grid this race.
This is going to be fun. This is going to be exciting. This is going to be crazy, as we're going to have 3 laps of racing. I think the Alpine driver Francisco Rocha needs to catch up, and other than that, we are going to get underway.
Yeah, this is going to be good. I was going to say get your seat up, but no. Oh no, Smart B5's got a penalty. He got a collision with Leighton. Would you even expect that? Leighton with contact with Smart.
And that's very unfortunate, but Smart can get that removed, the 5 seconds, if he has reason to do so, because no one's going to pit again, because the rules are, if basically you get an unfair penalty, but you've already served it, then you can't get it removed. So if you stay until the end of the race with that penalty, then you can get it removed, and that's very good. But the safety car is not in this lap, so we're going to get 2 laps of racing. And the DRS will not be enabled for these last few laps, so it's going to be pure race. Pure pace.
Indeed, pure race.
Pure pace. And Leighton's into the boxes.
What's happened there?
I think he's got damage. I think he's got damage.
Was it from Smart B5 that got him the damage?
May well have been.
Oh, that's not good. Laying into the pits, new fresh soft tyres, and out of he goes. Not a good way to end it, but we will have not a 3-lap shootout, a 2-lap shootout.
A 2-lap shootout here for the win of the race.
Unless the FIA decide, now we're going to stay out 1 more lap. Oh my god, we're going to have a 1-lap shootout, guys, get it.
A 1-lap shootout would be absolutely crazy. That would be fantastic. That would just be a mix of emotions for everyone. And Francisco Rocha has caught up, so I think we will be ready.
I've got a great idea.
What is your great idea?
I was thinking, right, we're gonna maybe get the TikTok editor, and
That's me. Shoo.
You and you. You're gonna clone yourself, right? And you're gonna work together. You're gonna make SPS Drive to Survive.
That'll be challenging. Anyways, these penalties will it's provisional P2 for Apellic with no penalties. Very nice from him. And his safety car in this lap. What will Pyro choose to do? His opponent JCAC weaving, and it looks like Pyro is going to go for the slow restart, or is it going to be fast? You can see the safety car is already off into the distance. He's waiting for it to pull into the pits. It's a 5-second tailpin for Ridge.
He's going all over. Scotty is losing places, and now getting back to this place. I'm very confused.
And
Many people
it's a very slow restart. It's a very, very slow restart.
Oh, Tomic!
And what's happened to Liam? And it's absolute madness. It's absolute madness as it's Pyro is causing it all. He's the playmaker, and he's finally gets underway, and he gets a very bad restart. JCAC already on the back of the Ferrari, and this is going to be JCAC into the lead of the race. He's going around the outside. Can he make it stick? No, he can't. Just about. He's gonna try go around the outside. It's gonna be a switchback, and it's gonna be the switchback of dreams down the inside of Pyro. But Pyro holds the inside line, and Pyro keeps the position. Further back the grid, we can see Smart B5 is
Smart and Leighton. No, Leighton's keep over, Smart's gone.
Indeed, and currently Apellic will be P2 of this race, and that's a lot of penalties. It's only Apellic and Pyro with no penalties currently. So even if JCAC gets past Pyro still win the race. And now Apellic, he knows that he does not need to push. He's got P2 in the bag. He's got P2 secured currently. We're going to have 1 lap left of racing. We're currently in the middle, 1.5 laps, I'm going to say. Further down the grid, we can see EVG Scotty looking to make the move on Liam Carrog, but he can't seem to make it quite yet. He's going to go down the inside of Hayes as he makes the move on the Red Bull successfully, and now he's going to go down the inside of who is that? It's Liam Carrog. Yeah, he's trying to go around the outside, but he can't quite make a stick. He's not going to have the help of DRS. No one's going to have DRS for the last few laps of this race. We're going to have a 1-lap shootout, and it's the last chance for JCAC to get past Pyro. It's the last.
I think Pyro's got this in the bag.
I think Pyro does have this in the bag. And Scotty. Is that Scotty around the outside of Liam? It is Scotty. Liam pushes him wide, and that's 3 seconds of penalties for Scotty. No, in the last lap of the race. That's so unfortunate for him. But I don't think that will affect
the FIA pushing you off the track and getting the penalty. Maybe
it will, and he wants to hold this position. He gets a 5-second. This is Codemasters at its worst. What are they doing to Scotty? They have something against this poor man. Not very nice. And Liam picks up more penalties. And this is just a penalty show in the last lap of the race. And we're gonna see it's Pyro. He's into the last few sectors, and further back Hopkinson and the McLaren of Tomic collide. No, that's so unfortunate for them both on their last lap. And someone who is fortunate is Pyro. He's had a magnificent race. He's had the race of dreams as a Ferrari driver as he rounds the final corner to win in Portimao. What a race from Pyro, and what a way to win. He's won in Portimao, and he gets the fastest lap of the race on the last lap of the race, and that is a dominant performance from the Ferrari. Apellic gets P2, JCAC P3, Ahi in P4, Leighton P5, Seb in P6, Smart in P7, Liam P8, Scotty P9, Hayes in P10, Hopkinson in P11, XD Paco P12, and Tom Edge P13, Francisco Rocha P14, Mr. BT DNF P15, 2 Hasses P16, 17, both DNF'd, and then Tokarola disqualified from the session in P18. And that is all for today in Portimao. Tom Edge, he's the last man to cross the line. He's weaving on the straight, and there we go. The race is over, it's finished, and it is Pyro's win.
I'm actually done. What is this game? You joke. Look, it was the final lap, final sector. As soon as we enter the 3rd sector, I hear your mic glitching out, and then on my screen, no connection. I missed the freaking end. Oh my god. Oh, okay, good race though, good race. I've pretty much missed out half of the Grand Prix, haven't I? With my internet problems. But that, my friends, is the Portuguese Grand Prix. The final race results. It's Pyro gets the victory ahead of a Pellic, Jackag, Ahai in 4th, Leighton in P5, Sabato Janssen in P6, Smart in P7, Liam in P8, followed by Scotty and Hades in the top 10. In the other half of the results, Hopkinson P11, Paco P12, Tomage, then Francisco Rocha, and the retirement, Mr. BT, Jamboy, CPI Paha, and Chocarola. That is the grid rundown results, and thank you all for being here. And next race will be in Imola, so all these Div 1 drivers, get ready, because it's just going to be just as treacherous and even harder to overtake, as it only has one DRS straight. So I reckon start practicing now before anything. And spectators watching the stream, thank you for being here. I hope
thank
you've
you.
enjoyed my connection issues. I mean, I've missed out pretty much half of the race because of my connection.
Yeah.
But maybe or maybe not, we'll do interviews.
And I'm asking the chat, don't go anywhere, guys, as we're going to be able to interview the drivers, possibly. That would be nice. And we're just
If
waiting
not, then
for anyone to accept. So yeah, just bear with us as we are hopefully going to get a few interviews done. Not sure though.
So, I'm just amazed, quite frankly.
Yeah, indeed, and I think I don't think we'll get.
Yes.
I don't think we'll be getting interviews. So, with that being said, have a good rest of the weekend, and we will see you back for more action next week in Imola, in Italy. It's going to be a crazy race. Imola always provides for the most extreme racing and brings the best out of all the drivers. So I'm excited to see everyone back for more in Imola. Division 5 on Tuesday, Division 4 on Wednesday, Division 3 on Thursday, Division 2 Friday, and Division 1 on Saturday today. And don't forget about Xbox and PC. You've got Xbox today actually taking place right now, so if you've got nothing else to do, make sure to tune in to the Xbox live stream. And PC tomorrow night, 7 p.m. GMT. Make sure that you don't miss it. And with everything being said, thank you for watching and have a great rest of the day.